Understanding your auto insurance quote really boils down to understanding the amount of insurance that's recommended or needed by and for you. Differences between auto insurance carriers are much, much fewer than they are in the property insurance world. However, the company you choose can make a big difference, not only at claims time, but with coverage too. For instance, did you know that some carriers offer built-in coverage for pets in your vehicles, while others don't? So if you've got man's best friend in the back seat when you're on your way down to visit the sister-in-law, God forbid you get in an accident, some carriers would actually pay for pet medical costs, whereas others won't. Those are the questions that you need to ask of your independent insurance agent. The biggest thing with auto insurance is making sure that you're properly insured. And let me harp on something. Everybody wants to say, I've got full coverage. Well, what does that mean? It means nothing. There's no such thing as full coverage, folks. What that is a marketing tactic. It's also just sort of a societal misconception. You see, if a claim actually went to court, full coverage would most likely mean that you had selected a limit for every single possible type of coverage that your company offered, and that limit was the absolute highest and any deductibles were the absolute lowest that company would offer. Then I might agree with you that you actually have full coverage. What most people mean by full coverage, though, is they have comprehensive and collision coverage. That means, in the case of comprehensive, if your car catches fire, if a tree falls on your car, something like that, it's covered. Collision, if it collides with something, but that means if you cause that collision. If somebody hits you, your collision coverage could be triggered if they don't have any insurance, but in a standard situation, the at-fault party's property damage coverage would pay for the damage to your vehicle, not your collision coverage ultimately. So it's important to understand what you have at risk, and that should drive the decision about what limits you should buy. And remember, don't ever buy the Florida state minimum limits to be legal on the road. Florida does have a no-fault system that has its proponents, but did you know that you do not even have to have third-party liability coverage to be legal on the road in Florida? All you need is that PIP, personal injury protection, no-fault coverage, and $10,000 of property damage coverage. That's wild. In today's world, most used cars are going for more than $10,000. So what happens if you get that bare bones coverage? Well, you're probably going to be taking your wallet out and giving somebody some of your hard-earned cash if you get in an accident. And don't forget that the state of Florida can impose forced insurance coverage for years after an accident where you did not have appropriate coverage if you cause injury. Another very important question to ask your independent insurance agent when dealing with auto insurance quotes is whether or not your coverage extends to a replacement private passenger auto. Let me rephrase that in English. Does your coverage still cover you if you're in a rental car? So remember, some carriers don't extend that coverage, most do, but it's worth that question. And that extension, the reason I said private passenger automobile, is that extension never carries over to a U-Haul truck or non-private passenger automobile. Get with your independent insurance agent, like us here at Harry Levine Insurance, to really formulate that understanding.